Today I'm going to talk about the differences between removing a LinkedIn connection and unfollowing a LinkedIn connection, and then show you how each works. First, let's talk about the differences between the two. A LinkedIn connection is very similar to the way that Facebook works, where you send an invitation to the other person to join your network, and then they receive an email with the invitation. If the invite is accepted, then you get a notification back, and then you can both see each other's content feed. And you can also send messages back and forth, even if you have a free LinkedIn account. Now, a couple of quick points. The bigger your network, the more people you have the chance to engage with. And it's important to remember that social media is all about two-way engagement and communication. So those are some of the benefits and why are an overview of what a LinkedIn connection is. A follower is someone that has clicked a follow button to be able to follow whatever you post. So if they do that, whatever you post on your feed will show up in their feed, but not the other way around. So it's more like how Twitter works, where you can follow somebody, and then when you follow them, they actually get a notification that you have followed them, and then really that's kind of the end of it. And originally only LinkedIn influencers, so big CEOs and big people that had big followings, were able to do this, but LinkedIn rolled it out to everybody now. So the other thing that you can do is, if you only want people to be able to follow you and not connect with you, you can do that too. Like if you get a lot of salespeople, or if you've reached your maximum of connections that LinkedIn allows you to have. So, first, let's talk about removing a connection from your network and why you would want to do that. So, you might want to remove a connection from your network because you just no longer want to be connected. You no longer want them in your network. You don't want to see their content in your feed. And then finally, you don't want the person being able to message you, at least with the free version of LinkedIn. And so those are some of the reasons why, and I'm sure there's other ones too. But the main thing to remember is, or the main consideration here, is that if you do remove someone from your network, they will not actually know it unless you click on their profile first and then remove them from their profile page. So they may get a notification that you looked at their profile, but they don't get a notification that you've removed them as a connection. So let me show you how to remove someone from your network. There's two different ways. The first way that you can do it is the way that I just explained it, where you can actually go to someone's profile and remove them that way. And so let me go down here and find somebody that I'm connected to that's a first connection. So this one is a first connection, and if I click on her profile, there's a more button here. I can click on that and I can remove her as a connection. And then once I do that, her and I are no longer connected, and I would show up as someone not being in her network if she were to search for me or whatever. A little more discreet way of unfollowing someone is to go into your network page, my network page, and then up in the top left, you see connections. You can then click on that, and you'll see a list of everybody that you're connected to. And then these three dots over here to the right, you can click on that and then choose remove connection, and they will not get a notification that you looked at their profile. So it's a little more of a discreet way of doing it. So now let's talk about unfollowing a connection. So the reason why you might want to unfollow a connection is that you want to remain connected. So if they saw you, if they saw their network, they would still see your name, and maybe you don't want to see their content in your newsfeed anymore. Maybe it's someone that's posting stuff you don't like or whatever, but you want to keep them in your network, so you can unfollow them, and then their content is going to no longer show up in your newsfeed. And or you still might want them to, you might want to be able to message back and forth. And so as long as you stay connected but unfollow, you can still send those messages and back and forth. And so there's two ways to unfollow someone as well. One is, like I said, is similar to the removing a connection. You can go to someone's profile page, click the more button, and then come down here and choose unfollow. And again, they do not get a notification of any kind. They won't know. And or the other option is within your news feed. So this is someone that I'm following or that I'm connected to. I can click these three little dots here, and then it's unfollow the person's name. So this person I'm not following, but it shows up because of Krista commented on it, or I could go down here and really anybody that is, again, Denise here, I can click on these three dots and I can say unfollow. So it's they're similar processes. It's not that hard to do, but there's just a little bit more of a discreet way of doing it versus others. But anyway, that's the short of that. If you do accidentally unfollow someone that you want to follow back, you can go into your settings and privacy here, and then you can scroll down to the very bottom. You'll make sure on the privacy tab here, and then you will see unfollowed. And if I see this, there's everyone that I've unfollowed, and then I could click this remove button, and I would be following them again. So that's it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please leave a comment if you found it useful. Thanks.